Hello friends, today's lecture point is Bainbridge mass spectrograph. But before that, one question is there, do you know about the isotopes? The isotopes means isotopes are the elements which are having same atomic number but different atomic weights or the different atomic mass. That means if atomic number is same, if atomic number is same, then in that case the electronic configuration of it are also same, and if electronic configuration is same, then its chemical properties are also same. Once again I repeat this, if atomic number is same, then in that case its electronic configuration is same, and if electronic configuration is same, then chemical properties are also same. So if you want to detect the isotopes, or if you want to separate the isotopes, the chemical properties are not useful to us, and for that we have to use physical methods. We have to use physical methods. Now, there are some physical methods using which one can detect the presence of isotopes in a given beam of ions. Right now we are going to see one of the method here. This is Bainbridge mass spectrograph. You can also call this device as a Bainbridge mass spectrometer, or another name is Bainbridge magnetic deflection mass spectrograph. So this Bainbridge mass spectrograph is designed by K.T. Bainbridge. In the year 1933. Here the basic principle behind this Bainbridge mass spectrograph is that when we apply, or when uniform magnetic field is applied normally to the path of ions having the same velocity, then in the influence of this magnetic field, ions follows a circular path or the semicircular path with different radii. So using the relation m is directly proportional to r, where this m is the mass of the isotopes or mass of the ion, and and r is the radii of the circular path or semicircular path followed by these ions, and hence this, using this relation, one can find the isotopes present in a given beam. Now this is the principle of, or the principle behind this Bainbridge mass spectrograph. Now this is a Bainbridge mass spectrograph. Basically it is divided into three parts. That is, the first part is ionization chamber. First part is ionization chamber. This is a ionization chamber. This chamber is used to ionize the gas whose mass or whose the isotopes is to be determined. So in this ionization chamber, positive ions are produced. Here this is anode and this is cathode. Again these are S1, S2 and S3 are the three slits. Now second part is velocity selector. This is velocity selector. Here electric field and magnetic field are applied, and both the electric and magnetic field are mutually perpendicular to each other, and also it is perpendicular to the direction of the beam. Now to produce the electric field, this is a positive plate A and this is negative plate B. So to produce electric field, in that case we apply a potential difference between these two plates, and the magnetic field is exactly at right angle to this electric field, and it is represented here by this cross marks. That is, this cross marks representing magnetic field and this is electric field. Here the electric field direction is from this positive plate to negative plate. Now when beam of the positive ion pass through this velocity selector, then the velocity of ions present in the given beam become equal now, and also this beam becomes undeflected beam due to the equal effect of electric field and magnetic field, and this beam or the beam of ion moves in a straight line path, and here the influence of magnetic field and electric field is equal on this beam. Now this is about the velocity selector, and then the ion beam pass through the slit ES3 and it come in the region 3, which is called as a vacuum chamber. That is, third part is vacuum chamber. You can also call this as a velocity analyzing chamber. Here in the velocity selector we apply magnetic field. Suppose this is a B, and in this vacuum chamber we also apply another magnetic field, that is B dash, and this magnetic field is normally, that is, perpendicular to the incident beam of ions. That is, this is a beam of ions. After passing through S3, here it comes in the influence of the magnetic field, which is normally to this incident beam of ions. And then after, here in the path of this beam a photographic plate is there. So this is all about the construction part of the Banbridge mass spectrograph or Banbridge mass spectrometer. Now let's move on towards its working part. Now see here in this figure, that is here, this is an ionization chamber. So in this ionization chamber, ions are formed, and these ions are passed from this cathode, then from slit S1 and then from S2. After that this beam come or enters in this velocity selector. As we know, in the velocity selector electric and magnetic field are applied, and which are perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to the beam of the positive ion. So after passing this beam through this velocity selector, then the ions from this beam now becomes equal in velocity, and also this beam moves in a straight line path like this. And after that this beam now passes through the slit S3. So here another magnetic field is applied there. So when this beam come in the influence of the magnetic field, the ions from this beam now follows a semicircular path like this with different radii. These are the different semicircular path, that means it contains different radii. Now, and after that these beams falls on the photographic plate, which is exactly placed in the path of the ions. This is photographic plate. So this is the working part, and from this we can detect the presence of isotopes using this relation, that is m is directly proportional to r. Here this m is the mass of ions and r is the radii. Now see its derivation. See here, this is velocity selector. So inside this velocity selector we apply electric field and magnetic field, and both are perpendicular to each other, and when the beam of positive ions passes through this velocity selector, then the influence of the electric and magnetic field, that is electric force and magnetic force on the beam of ion, is equal. And so in that case, inside the velocity selector, electric force, which is due to electric field, this is equal to magnetic force. This is due to the magnetic field. As we know, the value of electric force is Q into E, and value of the magnetic force is BQV. Here this Q is the charge of ion. Q is charge of ion. So now this Q and this Q gets cancelled. So we get E is equal to B into V. So from this equation we get this V is equal to E upon this B. Suppose this is equation number 1. Now again see this figure. When this now beam passes through this slit S3 after this velocity selector, then this beam came in the influence of this magnetic field B dash, and this beam now in this magnetic field follows a semicircular path with different radii. So now this circular path is provided by this magnetic field, that is magnetic force. So circular path corresponds to a centripetal force. So in this case, centripetal force is equal to magnetic force. This is due to the semicircular path, and magnetic force is due to the magnetic field P dash. So value of centripetal force we know mv square upon r, and the value of magnetic force is, now here magnetic field is B dash, so B dash into Q into V. This is equation number 2. This m is the mass of ion which follows the semicircular path having radii small r. Here this 1v and this v gets cancelled, so we get this B dash Q is equal to mv upon r. This is equation number 3. Now put the value of equation number 1, that is V is equal to E upon B in this equation. So this B dash Q is equal to M into E upon B into R, and put this B dash on the RHS, so Q, and M on the LHS, so Q by M is equal to E divided by B into this B dash into R. This is equation number 4. Now here this E, B and B dash are the constants. So Q by M is directly proportional to 1 upon R, and that means this M is linear with the R, that is radii of the semicircular path. And here this is the relation that gives mass is linear with radii of the semicircular path. So from this equation we can say that if M, that is mass of ion, is large, then in that case the radii of the semicircular path is also large, and if M is small, then also the radii followed by the semicircular path is also small. From this relation, M is directly proportional to R. So using the traces from this photographic plate, we can detect the presence of isotopes in a given beam of the positive ions. So this is all about the Bainbridge mass spectrograph. Using this, one can detect the presence of isotopes in the given beam of positive ions. Also, we can detect or we can determine the mass of mass number of isotopes, and also we can find out the relative abundance of the isotopes in a given beam of positive ions. Once again I repeat, we can find out the presence of isotopes, we can also determine the mass number of isotopes in a given beam, and also we can find out the relative abundance of isotopes in the given beam of positive ions. So this is about the Bainbridge mass spectrograph. Thank you.